Today we're exploring what it's like to hate your own race. My next guest is a black man who hates his appearance so much that he is desperate to change his race. Lawrence is a 21-year-old African-American who has never been happy in his own skin.
Being born black is the worst thing that's ever happened to me, and I really think it's ruined my life. When I look at black people, I honestly see, like, ugliness. I see a wide nose, big lips. I just do not like my race. Growing up was very hard for me because I didn't really identify with the black people in my community. But then on the other hand, the white people couldn't really identify with me, so I didn't really fit in anywhere. It's almost a curse to be black and dark skinned. I think if I were white, everything would be okay. I would not hate myself and I'd feel a lot better about myself and all my problems would go away.
So Lawrence, you hate yourself?
Yes.
Do you hate other black people too?
Yes.
Why do you hate black people?
I think it's oppressing, the black race. I think the way we as a whole carry ourselves, the way we're predicted, it's a curse to be black.
It's a curse to be black?
Yes.
So I'm sitting here just cursed to damnation?
Not you. I would consider you in the other category.
I'm an other?
Yes. Like me, in a different category.
So we're others?
Yes.
You say that you're a white man trapped in a black man's body?
Yes, I often believe that.
What does that mean?
When I wake up in the morning, I hate what I see. I just feel I'm black on the outside, black on the outside, not on the inside. I often wish I was white on the outside as well as the inside.
I never heard someone say that they're a white man trapped in a black man's body. I've heard people say that there's a woman trapped inside of me, or, transgender people, but I've never heard a race thing that was trapped.
Well, it's something I've been dealing with. It's what I feel, and it's a struggle day in and day out.
And what does your family think about this?
They don't understand it. My mom and dad abandoned me, so I don't really deal with them. But my grandmother, she just doesn't understand it, but she wants me to learn.
Your mom and dad abandoned you?
Yes.
And they're black? Do you have anything to do with why you don't like black people, maybe? I'm not the therapist, but ding, ding, maybe?
It stems from a long history, so maybe. I'm not sure.
I want to show you a mirror, and I want you to tell me what you feel and what you see when you look at yourself in the mirror. This is what you look at every single day.
I see an ugly face, a big nose, nappy hair, just completely ugly.
Do you want to be white?
Yes.
All right. Well, Lawrence, he said he wanted to be white. So we used the miracle of makeup to grant his wish for one day so he can see if it was everything that he thought it would. I was watching that, Lawrence, and saw that at the very end, when you were taking that final makeup off, you started to choke up.
Yes.
Why?
Because I'll just know that I'm going back to the way things are and my normal life, misery.
And you say that white people are gods. You said that.
Yes, I look at them superior and I just can't stand to be black. I just look at them superior and they're just God to me and they're just everything. I just hate waking up every morning.
So what is the state of slavery's children today? How are the impacts of our past history viable? What are some of our behaviors that point to post-traumatic slave syndrome? How are vacant esteem, ever-present danger, and racist socialization expressed in ourselves, our families, and our communities in this new millennium? African Americans suffer from all the social ills that plague society at large: drug abuse, crime, moral decay, to name a few. It would be foolish to argue that every maladaptive manifestation of these ills is a result of post-traumatic slave syndrome. Still, it would serve us to well understand to what degree these and other problems of today directly relate to the slave experience of yesterday. Put another way, what adaptive behaviors have we taken on that have led to harmful habits we are capable of replacing with healthier ones? Some of those things that have come to be associated with Black culture are negative, demeaning, and harmful, such as public display of verbal and physical aggression at parties or various other gatherings, eating foods high in salt and fat, and adding sugar to nearly everything. These and many other behaviors have come to be expected and acceptable. African Americans have unwittingly adapted habits and traditions that influence how we think, how we eat, how we believe about health and healthcare, how we manage interpersonal conflict, and even how we behave sexually. No cursory view of African American lifestyle would explain the state of slavery's children. The exploration of our past influence on our present forms the basis for PTSS work and research. Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday. Welcome back to On the Shoulders of Giants. I am Joseph Ward, and I'm continuing my reading of Dr. Joy DeGruy's book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, America's Legacy of Enduring Injury and Healing. And this is chapter 5, Slavery's Children. We are the children of slavery. And as you can see, we're covering the concepts of the results, or we're further exploring the results of post-traumatic slave syndrome. We're further exploring the results of being oppressed, of slavery, of Jim Crow, of sharecropping, of all the ills that Black people faced being in America, or Black people throughout the world under the system of white supremacy. How has being under the system of white supremacy affected the way we behave, the way we see the world? That's what we're exploring today. So this chapter is breaking down basically how slavery's children were made and the results of slavery's children. Like, it is 2023. How are the results of slavery still negatively affecting Black people worldwide, but specifically in America? How are the effects of slavery still negatively affecting us today in 2023? Monday, December 27th, 2023. How is slavery, the effects of slavery, negatively impacting us, right? How did it shape us? Overall, how did it shape us? Mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically. Remember, we're talking about epigenetic memories. All these different things. Being traumatized and not being healed from the trauma. Being traumatized and being left to just survive. And then, we were not expected to survive after we were let off the plantations. But Black people found a way to not just survive, but thrive. And then, well, the rise of the KKK and the rise of other terroristic groups from white people. So what white people learned is they have to continuously keep a foot on our neck, either literally or figuratively or systematically. So yes, today, white supremacy oppression doesn't look the same as it looked 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago. But the overall goal is still to maintain the system of white supremacy. So in this maintenance of the system of white supremacy, how does it continue to negatively affect Black people? So let's get into it. So this is picking up on page 144. Who are we? At one time, we have been considered chattel, and at another slaves. We have been indentured servants, and we have been sharecroppers. We have been called darkies, niggers, negroes, Negroes, colored, Black, African American, and intercultural, and nigger, and most recently African Americans. Each designation has a historical link that carries with it perceptions of ourselves and of our group. Who or what we perceive ourselves to be is influenced first by those in our immediate environment that confirm and reinforce for us their perspective. The people in our immediate environment, our family, those are the ones who affect our self-perception in the beginning, which is very important. What is the state? How healthy is the mental state, emotional state, psychological state, physical state of the people who are raising us in the primary years of our life, the people who are in our immediate environment? What is the state of health of those people who are raising us? What is the competency level? Do they care about themselves? Do they love themselves? Do they have vacant esteem? All those questions have to be asked, because if a person basically has PTSS and is raising children, what do you think will be passed down to the children?
I hate being Black. I love myself and I love what I look like, and I'm proud of being a Black person, but I hate being Black because I hate all the things that comes with being Black. When black people talk about like all the things that we deal with, race, white people always think, oh, it's just race, or it's just, the effects of slavery, or it's just this, or it's just that. Like, I don't think that you guys understand, like, it's everything. If I go to a restaurant, my server is not going to come check on me ever. Like, I don't get good customer service, or I get seated in some dark corner somewhere every time I go out. If there's a group of white people behind me that came in after me, but there's only one table available, they're going to get the table. That actually just happened to me just now, which is why I'm actually making this video, because I was thinking about how much I hate the way society treats me. And being an alternative black girl doesn't make that any easier. I don't know how many times I have to say this, or if I even should have to say this. I know that I have an alternative appearance. I know that I have a ton of piercings. I know that I wear makeup, and I may not wear the most, reserved outfits ever in the world. Although tonight I'm pretty fucking reserved, but that's besides the point. I totally get it. I know what I look like. But at the same time, I just feel like what I look like should not warrant the amount of unhealthy, bad attention that I get. Like, the other day, when I made that video, like, putting up the posters, like the Bad Girls Club posters on Melrose, literally my manager, after we walked away, he's white, by the way, he told me, he said, I didn't realize, like how many dirty looks you get. Like, people are really just so angry, like, just seeing you. Like, every time they see you, like, I see people giving you the most dirty looks from their car and pointing at you and giving you faces. And I had to tell him, like, all my friends tell me that. I'm used to it. I'm 100% used to it. Like, I'm used to it. I'm used to getting looks, and I'm used to getting dirty looks, and I'm used to getting a whole bunch of things. I've been harassed. I've been, hate crimed. Not hate crimed, but I've definitely been called racial slurs or dealt with racism just like outside on the go. At what point do you really blame people for being angry? At what point do you blame people? Like, I drive in my car, I drive alone. I make sure that I keep my car like slightly dirty so that my car doesn't look, and I have a Hyundai. I don't have a glamorous car, but I make sure that it's like not too clean and flashy, because I don't want the police to pull me over. I don't even want to get a nice car in the future, because I think to myself, well, if I get a nice car, the police are going to pull me over more. I can't fucking do anything. I can't do anything. And don't even get me, colorism is everywhere. Racism is everywhere. It's in everywhere and everything and everyone. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I hate it.
Our schools, literature, and mass media give an incomplete and oftentimes intentionally misleading view of who we are as a people. It's designed to do that. Remember, the media is designed to negatively portray Black people. That's the only way you can feel good about dehumanizing Black people, because you have to see them as less than human. And the media helps others and ourselves see ourselves and others see us as less than human. Having been a victim of false statements by the media, I am ever cognizant of the role media plays and has played in stirring up fear, hatred, and bigotry, manipulating the public in order to increase ratings. Perhaps it is true that violence, controversy, and tragedy sells, but at what cost? The media provides the lens through which we view others, whether people of color, criminals, the poor, police, politicians, and terrorists. More importantly, the media is the lens through which people view themselves. Through the media, individuals with vacant esteem not only recognize their own impotence, but are also shown their group and community's lack of power and efficacy. And all of this can occur in a 30-second soundbite.